Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Edwin-Sifuna is making some moves. And the moves are strategic. And Edwin-Sifuna is winning. Today, Faith Odhiambo, the former president of Law Society of Kenya, officially joined Linda Wananchi. Let me read for you what Edwin-Sifuna posted after she joined. Because for me, the move by Faith Odhiambo is significant, and I'm going to talk about it. This is what Edwin-Sifuna posted. Full parade to welcome Madam President. Welcome to Linda Wananchi, Faith Odhiambo. And you can clearly tell that this is a team of Linda Wananchi. And from the background, you can see that they are track. And if you are keen, the dress code of Faith Odhiambo is actually telling. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Faith Odhiambo finally decided to join Linda Wananchi? We all know that during the peak of Gen Z protest, Faith Odhiambo was one of the heroes. Then along the way, she was appointed by the president to the compensation committee, which she later on declined, not because she wanted, but because of the kind of attacks she was receiving from the young people. Today, Faith Odhiambo joined Linda Wananchi. Why do you think this is significant? Before I explain it, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, the first reason why this is a big win for Sifuna is the Gen Z factor. As a matter of fact, if you had to ask me, the entry of Faith Odhiambo is actually intended to create the momentum for the Thika rally. And that's why you're not seeing Orengo here, because I would have expected Orengo James to be the one to receive Faith Odhiambo. But we are totally seeing Team Sifuna here. Most of them are actually youthful, apart from maybe Ruben Dolo. Most of them are youthful. So I think the intention is to try and win back or win the support of the young people. Let me ask you this question today. If elections were held in the Republic of Kenya today, and the young people are given a choice to vote, where do you think most of them would vote? Will they vote for Kalonzo? Will they vote for Sifuna? Or will they vote for, let's say, Matiang'i? My answer is that most of them would actually vote for Edwin-Sifuna. So Edwin-Sifuna is trying to rally the support of the young people by gathering all and scattering none. So this is a major boost to Linda Wananchi. In fact, even the Luo factor is now being boosted. I've not seen Babu Owino here. I did not see Babu Owino here. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, but I've not seen Babu Owino here. Though I'm seeing, I've not seen Babu Owino here. Why? Number two, and this is something which I think Edwin-Sifuna and the team are doing. They are coming up with a lineup. They are looking for credible people to join Linda Wananchi with a view of contesting. So I want to be convinced that Faith Odhiambo might actually be the Linda Wananchi candidate for the Nairobi women representative seat. Because so far, Omanga is running under DCP. Pasaris has indicated she's not defending the seat. So who are the people running for the seat? We have Karen Nyamu. Let us be fair. We have Faith Odhiambo, you have Karen Nyamu, and you have Mama Miradi, Millicent Omanga. Who do you vote for? Who is more credible? So I think that is the intention. Faith Odhiambo will likely run for the Nairobi women representative seat, in my view. Number three, and this is something which I think These guys are now showing the generational change politics. That's why if you look at this team here, Karolo Mondi does not qualify to be young, but is youthful. The rest are youthful. You only remove Karoli and you remove Ruben Dolo. And I want to assume that's why even James Orengo is not in this list. So I want to think that these guys are keen on coming up with a youthful team, which will then be branded as generational change. And that's why sometimes I keep on believing that Ndindi Nyoro will also likely join this team to complete that generational change politics. Because you look at the other side, there is Kalonzo. How old is Kalonzo? There is Rigathi. How old is Rigathi? There is Natembea. There is Matiang'i. Yeah. So they want to distinguish. They want themselves to be separated from the old guards. Youthful team. That's why sometimes I also believe that Sifuna might actually be on the ballot for the presidency, not as a running mate to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, because that's what Rigathi Gachagua is actually pushing. And number 4, which I think is also a positive move. This team lacked women face in their camp. They've been trying to push Pauline Njoroge to be the face of women. But Pauline is not tolerating. In fact, they've given Pauline Njoroge a lot of limelight. But she's not picked up well. Now they've unleashed Faith Odhiambo. Faith Odhiambo is many things. Having served as the president of the Law Society of Kenya, she has created a name for herself within the legal fraternity. Now you push someone like that as the face of women in that movement. The credibility and all those factors favors her. So I think these guys have been looking for the face of a woman for Linda Wananchi, so that if they go for those rallies, I'm sure in Thika, Pauline Njoroge will speak, then Faith Odhiambo will speak later. And that's going to be now be the protocol. And lastly, I think if you listen to Rigathi Gachagua's speech today, there's something which he said, that we will not see him for the next 45 days. He's going to lock himself up in Omunyoro and holding series of meetings with the sole aim of identifying a presidential candidate to face William Ruto, a single presidential candidate from the opposition to face President Ruto. For Sifuna to negotiate, for Sifuna to be picked, he must come up with a team. So Faith Odhiambo, in my view, is a very good pick. And number 5, and I think if you listened to Rigathi Gachagua's speech today very keenly, for those who have political ears, then you should have understood why Sifuna is doing this. Rigathi Gachagua made it very clear that he's going to lock himself in Wamunyoro for 45 good days. And he's going to do only one thing: to meet people and to hold strategy meetings. And those strategy meetings will have only one outcome: a single presidential candidate to face William Ruto. How will Rigathi Gachagua lead or help in identifying a single presidential candidate? It means scientific methods will be used. Of course, they can also just decide to agree on consensus. Edwin Sifuna has emerged, Kalonzo has emerged, Matiang'i has emerged. Rigathi Gachagua himself is contesting. So I want to remove Rigathi Gachagua because probably the ruling is knocking him out. So let's have the three. How do you think Sifuna can force this team to pick him as a presidential candidate? Or even if not as a presidential candidate, but then as a running mate? He must prove he has a team, a strong team. So if you have Sifuna, you have Faith Odhiambo, you have who else negotiating with Kalonzo. Kalonzo will come with who? Yeah, with Matiang'i. And then they'll project themselves as the next generation, the Gen Z. They won't be ignored. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.